they go back in and we reset. Absolutely. So, okay, so we are on the second law for atomic habits. And the second law is make it attractive. So, as we go through that, I guess let's open with this. Here's a question. Why do we naturally gravitate towards some habits and avoid others? Why would that be?
Because we're like sheep, we follow everybody. I mean, if you see something used and you believe it enough, you basically say, okay, that's gotta be right. Instead of stepping out of your comfort zone and say, wait a minute, let me go this direction. In my opinion.
So because they make us happy, because we get better results.
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification, right?
Comfort, comfortable.
Comfortable. Because don't we always do when you have the list, the easy ones first, right? Not the hard ones. We do the easy ones first. Would it be better if we put the harder things at the top of the list and then remember the old Kellerism, swallow the frog? Do the ones you don't want to do that's stopping you from doing all the other stuff first. I mean, is that a good way to go at it? Or do we talk about habit stacking and stacking something we do naturally with something we need to do and then something we want to do? I don't know. Chris, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think that the whole point of this, I love the psychology behind all of it. So, the saying, I've seen some of them in real estate. It's like the real estate by design, or like your business by design. This is like, if you're just left to flounder on your own and figure stuff out, you're going to take the path of least resistance. You're going to do what's easiest, what's going to give you the most satisfaction in the moment with the least amount of effort. And whenever you look at everything this way, you're the architect of it. So you're going to have control of it.
Yeah.
So it's easy to slip into doing whatever your body's wants to do in that moment, or you can understand the psychology, understand the physiology of these habits and take control of them.
Right.
Let's design it ourselves.
How do you take control of them?
So this section, there's a couple different ways of doing it. So, and there is no one secret thing that's going to change everything, right? But it's a series, and it's a bunch of different tools that you can apply. That's what I love about it. Anytime you can get instructions that are like, do XYZ for results ABC.
Right.
All you have to do is do this. Just do it. Do exactly this right here. And that makes things so easy, and it makes it so attainable. So like one of them is understanding the dopamine releases, like it talked about in chapter 8. You don't receive dopamine just as the reward afterwards, but when you tie it to, and I know that you do this, bundle the negatives with the goods. Okay. Something negative that you do, meaning negative that you currently do, like a bad habit, or something that you need to do, which is going to be your good habit. Tie the good habit to a reward that you're going to have at the end.
Right.
So it's not just, oh, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work hard, or I'm going to sit down at my computer and I'm going to pull up, and start doing this. It's like tie something positive to it, and the dopamine release is going to start with anticipation of it before you even started it.
So would the dopamine release be when you do the task and you can scratch it off your list? I mean, is there like lead gen, right? Chris, that's what I always go back to, because to me it's all about real estate, the whole lead gen thing. So you've got to make your 5 calls. So would that dopamine start, or is it just fear that starts before you do the?
So the dopamine is from the positive thing that you're tying to that action. Okay. So for example, if you are going to do something exciting, if you're going to go golfing, does the dopamine start when you're on the field swinging the golf club, or does it start when you're in the car, or you're loading your stuff up into the car and you're heading over? It starts ahead of time. You're excited ahead of time. Kids can't sleep at night the night before Disneyland, because they know that's that dopamine release. So when you know that you're on the verge of something, so you take something that's positive that's going to give you a dopamine release, and you tie it to something that you need to do. So, for example, if you're excited about watching a specific show on Netflix,
Yeah.
okay, knowing that it's going to come out, knowing that you're going to do it, there's going to be a dopamine release that's going to motivate you. But if you tie that to, I can't do that until I make 5 calls from my SOI, now that dopamine rush is going to hit you as you go into making those 5 calls because you're anticipating the reward at the end.
So instead of feeling the fear, like, oh, I've got a call, you're going to be anticipating the reward at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense. Because what stops most agents from making their calls? What stops? Gunnar, what stops them?
Fear.
All right. Anybody online? What stops you guys from making your calls? Anything other than fear? What else would it be? Unmute yourselves, guys. Start talking.
Procrastination.
Jackie said procrastination.
Laziness.
Yeah, I would agree with Jackie, and then a little bit of fear.
Fear.
Fear of rejection, for sure.
Fear of rejection.
Rejection.
Right?
Yeah, rejection.
Yeah, doing something that makes you feel instantly better, but not long term, right? I mean, you can sit and watch TV and it's going to be soothing and comforting, but what's it going to get you? Probably nothing, right? No results at all. So you've got to, that's why that habit stacking and the dopamine release. But to start feeling that dopamine release, Chris, don't you think you have to be in the habit of doing it and know, okay, I know what's going to happen now.
If you are consistent and with tying those together, so everybody has something they look forward to. Okay, whether it's the death scroll on your social media, whether it's a TV show that's coming out, whether it's to watch the news, or it's a movie, or it's to whatever it is that excites you, that you can sit down, think about for a moment, think about what is it in my day, what things do I do give me some sort of an excitement dopamine rush. Okay, you just think about those things. Is it getting that cup of coffee, that first hit of coffee in the morning? Is it putting in that Zen, that nicotine pouch? What is it? What is it that you're looking forward to that you know there's going to be a dopamine release? Okay, now tie it to something that you know you need to do, that you want to develop a habit for.
And then do you think when you start getting some results, the dopamine release increases? Like if I called the day before and I got a really strong lead off of whether it was cold calling or sphere of influence, don't you think you're going to anticipate it a little bit more the next day? Like, oh, maybe I'm going to get that same result. I think so. Gunnar gets up and him and Austin get on the phones every morning at 8:30, right, Gunnar?
Mm-hmm.
And how did it feel when you first started, and how's it going with the habit? Like how does it feel now that you're doing it?
Oh, well, yeah, once you realize that these people can't see you and they don't know who you are, it's a cold call. I mean, then the fear gets, once you have good conversations, then it's super easy. Yeah, people tell you to F off or,
But the habit's showing up. Do you guys go to the office together? At what time?
8:30 in the morning.
8:30 morning. Okay. At first, was it difficult for you to consistently do that?
Yeah.
Okay, and as time has gone on, so the goal is this, right? The goal is not to go make calls.
The goal is to go to the office.
The goal is to show up at 8:30 in the morning.
And that's how it was for the first, like, we wouldn't even start calling for hours, or we wouldn't even call at all. It would just be in there, but just going in and doing it.
If your thought process of what's motivating you is to go in there and make calls, you're gonna figure out it's gonna be A, way more difficult, and B, you're gonna probably figure out other things that you can do to get you out of it, because these things are important also. And yep,
One
Shiny object.
shiny objects.
Shiny object to another. Like, oh, I can't sell my houses because I don't have a headshot, or my website's not updated, or whatever. You're trying to look for other things to do rather than the things that make you money.
Yeah.
I'm a huge proponent of develop the habit first. That's going to, don't even worry about the production of what results from it.
Just good.
Develop the habit first. Show up. You don't have to show up and then do all these calls immediately and do everything. No. You just need to show up every day at 8:30. So develop that first. When you get there, play video games, do whatever the heck you got want to do, because that's not the important part right now. That's the end game later on. But to establish, because we're not talking about doing things we're supposed to do. We're talking about developing the habit.
Yes.
Once you have the habit, you're there, you're in position for it. Then you can adjust what you're doing while you're there. Then you can adjust your production. Then you can adjust your numbers of what you blah, blah, blah. But the hardest part is showing up, is getting there, developing the habit of sitting in that chair, being in that place, doing whatever habit that you're trying to accomplish. So it can't be a difficult, uncomfortable thing that's in your mind, because you're just setting the odds against yourself.
Yeah, that is true. That is the most, and I think I kind of missed that part, is like, it's the habit. It's sitting down at whatever time, or going to the gym at whatever time, or whatever it is you're doing, not worrying about the task at hand, but just getting the habit first. Then naturally it's going to be easier. Because if you're not in a habit, you're not going to do it at all.
If you have a dopamine rush from drinking your first cup of coffee, or pounding an energy drink, or something like that, if you know that that's you, okay, you can't have that until you sit down in that chair at this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what it's talking about right here.
It makes sense. It makes 100% sense.
The dopamine article in here, I was like, whoa, I mean, but I would trick the rats into doing this, doing that, like that, and I'm gonna give myself up and like that. I've had to basically cut out sugar because the condition I could possibly have, in the future and stuff like that, so changing that habit and not eating sugary cereals, getting rid of the sugar, no candies anymore. I mean, you can go sugar free, there's alternatives, but you don't realize that habit I had to change to get to that point where I'm at today to eat healthier.
Yeah.
And it's hard, the taste is different, but your mindset is like, well, wait a minute, do I want to live longer? Because
The reward.
No, that's what I'm saying. So do you want to live longer? So basically, well, screw this half, I'll do it halfway, and basically, no. I made a life change, basically started my eating habits. And basically I'm benefiting from it because yes, you prolong your life, and basically you feel better, you're stronger about it like that.
Yeah.
But that habit to get into is like an easy thing to do.
No.
So it's just like, again, it's that mindset. What's more important to you?
But it was all.
Belonging or you get in real estate?
But it was also atmosphere too, right, Freddie? Because you got rid of the sugar in the house. So it was partly atmosphere, right? If you don't have candy at the house, and you don't have cereals, and you don't have all those things, you put yourself in that position to do it, right?
No, you're right, but again, for myself to do this to help myself out, I don't eat it. Now, there's a bag of candy, my favorite candy that is still in the cupboard. But what I do, I look at it and it's like, no, I don't need that. So is a temptation there at times, but yet my mind is changed to say, you don't need that. You don't need that. This is what you need. Go for the apple, go for this, go for that. Again, that habit is really the thing you have to work on every day, every minute, every time.
And that's breaking a bad habit.
Exactly.
And the reward is you probably feel better. You could potentially lose weight, right? There's all kinds of things that can happen from breaking a bad habit. Because don't forget part of this is about how to break bad habits too.
Now, what did you do? Because that's a long-term goal, right? Your long-term gratification is being healthy, not having something bad happen with your health, whatever. What did you do in the short term that helped you accomplish that? Like your normal habits were to, every time you got hungry, you would look in the cabinet or whatever. What would lead you to always eat something that's sugary? And then what did you do to make that transition easier?
You take your time. Adjust somewhere else. Before going to that cupboard, say, you know what, you had to want to go to the cupboard to grab that. You know what, I'm gonna go outside and go do this.
It's a good idea.
Hey, right now with the middle of the remodel project, hey, what do I need to do today? I'll go do something like that. You go by the cupboard, it's like, no, you know what, you think of, I'm changing, you do something other.
You're replacing it.
Replacing it.
Yep.
So something in a positive thing like that. Could I sit in front of the TV and veg out all day long? You bet. No, go do something productive. Let's get on the computer, do some emails, check on my emails, not Facebook. But get on the emails, okay, hey, tax season's here, do my paperwork. I'm channeling it to a different direction.
Yeah, so that's in chapter 10 is fixing the bad habits. That's where they talk about replacing it with something else. So you have something that you want to get rid of. You don't just stop it. You have to replace it with something else. That's what's going to make it 10
Exactly
times
what
easier.
Freddie did, they
Right.
replaced it.
Yep.
That's brilliant, that's good. Did you see in 9, Chris, when it says a genius is not born, but it is educated and trained? And that was when, about the guy who wanted the kids that were chess geniuses. And it was all about the environment, and people, would say to him, oh, like, the kids maybe weren't happy. The kids were happy, they loved it, it's what they knew, and they got reward, they knew they were good at it. That was so interesting to me,
Yeah.
that part of it.
Well, when you want to stop like a bad habit,
To be masters at it.
Yeah.
You- Can
And
you hear
then
me?
it also said, as we're about to see, whatever habits are normal in your culture are among the most attractive behaviors you find, because it's about atmosphere, isn't it? It's about atmosphere. How does that come into play? Like, if you're at a brokerage who does not encourage, maybe working your SOI, making your phone calls, making your emails, is it gonna be as attractive to you? But if it's more peer pressure, right? If the group does it as a whole, does that make you want to do it more?
Absolutely. So we're in chapter 9, right?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I
So-
skipped ahead.
So
So let me add real quick, to stop a bad habit,
Mm-hmm.
actually stop. And the S stands for stop what you're doing. T, take a breath. O, observe what's happening inside your thoughts and feelings and sensations. And P is proceed mindfully with a choice that supports your values. And that short period of time can let you ground yourself.
Well, that's what Freddie did. When he knew he wanted something sweet, right? You stopped before you went, but then you changed your location, really. I mean, what you were doing.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna get away from this and I'm gonna go and go outside for a while, take a break, see if I'm really craving this as bad in 15 minutes, right? After I'm outside. Yeah.
So there's three areas. This part is so important. We've all heard it in some way, shape, or form many times, and it's just true. And that's, we're influenced by three different groups, right? You have your close friends and family.
Yeah.
You've heard the saying, you're an average of your 5 closest people, or whatever that is. If you hang around a bunch of people that golf and you've never golfed before, I bet you're gonna end up golfing. If you hang around a bunch of people, several airplane pilot enthusiasts, probably you're gonna end up taking pilot's lessons, right?
Right.
If you hang around 5 successful realtors that put in the time and do a lot, they're always in the office, blah 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 blah. You're probably gonna get more into real estate and probably show up more to the office. If you hang around people that do a bunch of open houses, or they're just passionate about being successful in the real estate world, or investments, or anything like that, you're gonna obviously. So you have to know that and look at who you're around. If you're around people that are negative, that sit around and don't do anything, or they play video games, and if you're around people that do not align and do the things that your goals are with what you're the habits that you're trying to create and the person you're trying to become, then probably, if it's family, you can't get away from your family, but talk to your family and get them on your team with you. If your husband if you're trying to accomplish this and you have a conversation with your husband and say, look, I'm really trying to do this right here. Please support me with this. Help me with this. Look for opportunities to help me and support me with this. Now you're starting to influence some people around you. If you have your children, tell your children, hey, mommy or daddy, I'm really going to be trying to do this. So support me with that. If you see anything of me slipping, call me out on it. So make sure that the people around you, if they're friends, make sure that you're around good quality friends that are going to be aligned with what your goals are.
I was watching a stupid show on Netflix last night. It's an old show, that Mike and Molly show.
Uh-huh.
And Molly, and I'd never watched it before, but sometimes I just try and watch one, getting ready to go to bed, something mindless, right? So it was so weird that you talk about family because Molly, they show her and she's trying to lose weight, right? She's a little bit bigger gal and she's on the elliptical and she's just going. And here comes her mom with this cake, this piece of cake, and sits right down next to her. And she's eating this chocolate cake. And she's like, oh my gosh, so good. And then the sister comes in and she goes, oh my gosh, is that your delicious chocolate cake? Yes. And they're just going crazy. And she's like, guys, look what you're doing to me. I'm trying to do this and you guys are doing this in front of me. So that's exactly what you're talking about. But sometimes don't you think that's the hardest part? Like you can control yourself, but how do you've got to get your family on board with you.
It's easier, Chris, is exactly right, because on this journey, basically, right now, like some might change, my wife's supporting me with it the whole way, like that, she's eating it exactly like you, cutting the sweets up and saying, you know what, you don't have to do this, if you don't have a problem, just know, we're in this together.
Yeah.
And she
That's
encourages,
beautiful.
pushes, and she goes, no, we're in this together, let's do this, like, I feel better too, and I don't think we're sugarholics, I'm just saying, we all have that little craving, I love dessert, don't get me wrong. But it's like, you cut that or it's in moderation. And she's like, no, I'm with you on this, like that, so you're right,
So your environment was conducive to it because Sean was on board with it too.
yeah, so again, your family encourages you to get along board like that versus saying, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. Well, that's kind of like hurtful in a way sometimes
Yeah.
too, so then, well, if they don't care, well, I'm not gonna care either, so I'll just continue doing what I'm doing and just roll the dice. It's like, no, when you get people on board to support you, you're more successful whatever you do. Just like in real estate, she still in real estate, she says, hey, encourage me, hey, you know what, you got a training there, you go on, I said, yeah, but I'll be there. So you get that family on board with you, the goals that you're trying to get to are gonna be a lot better for you. So-
Even like, so I had I've recently trying to be eating way cleaner too, and I can tell you this, there's this moment, my daughters come home, my daughter's a little bit of an athlete, right? So she's playing sports and everything like that, and I had some I told them we were gonna go grocery shopping, and I said I want to eat clean and I want to eat this and that, and my daughter goes, yeah, we need to get rid of all this other stuff. I need to start eating clean too. We just need like good quality stuff. And that got me so excited
Because she was excited.
because it's like now I'm not just trying to do this on my own. It's like my freaking kids interested in this too. I'm just like, bam, we're doing it. Let's go. It was cool. It was cool. So it's like that's how powerful your environment, your close friends and family. It's so important for you to like make sure that those people are to the best of your ability aligned with what you're trying to accomplish. Because if they're just, I'm telling you,
They can sabotage
they
it.
can totally sabotage it. It's going to happen. It's going to sabotage.
Just like Molly's mom last night and her sister.
Yes.
And they told her, you don't need to be exercising. You don't need to be on a diet. You're just she goes, just accept it. You're a big boned girl. And she was like, that's horrible. Obviously, this is a TV show, but
Yeah.
that's the same thing.
Well, okay. So in chapter 9, there's the 3, right? So one is your close family and friends.
Yeah.
Second is your culture and society. So there's cultures within cultures. And you just started working out and doing some stuff. I did the same. You just changed up your diet. Sarah, you working out. So we all know that there's a culture within our own city that's going to help with what you are trying to accomplish. So on the working out example, if you hang around people that are interested in eating clean and working out, going to the gym and working these different groups, and you're having conversations with them and you're like staying in touch with that. Like I have a client who is super into all the fitness stuff. He's putting a little gym at the back of his house. Like he's calling me up about different equipment. I'm calling him up. He's talking to me about, certain little peptides he's doing, this and that. Like we get into it. it makes it so much easier whenever your immediate culture and the things that you're surrounding yourself around with interest, including when you talk about this stuff. I know you guys have all experienced it.
It's gonna show up on your phone.
It's gonna show up on your phone. You start talking about different proteins and different workout styles and different workouts that you can do, or fighting diabetes, or eating healthy, or doing all these different things, whatever it is, this stuff's gonna all pop up and it's gonna start sending you videos on different things. So be like in the real estate world, we have a culture within our culture, right? In the real estate world, we don't show up to complain around the coffee pot. We show up and we want to help each other. That's a great culture. So, and we want to be productive. We want to help out. So, you can put yourself around that atmosphere and that culture. That's going to help you as well. So if you have the people around you, and then secondly, the culture and your society that you allow yourself to embrace, that's two of the three. Those are important things. Anything to add on the culture and society?
Well, I just think everybody, we have a pack mentality, right? We have a pack
Right.
mentality, so you want to be one of the pack. So if you're doing what the pack is doing, it feels better. To be the odd man out doesn't feel great.
Right.
So I think it's just natural.
You're exactly right. To get your first set, and if you haven't done one for the new agents, you'll get there. But once you get that and you have that satisfaction, because guess what? This team here at Downtown Realty is gonna help you on that path.
Right.
They're not gonna say, "I'll forget it, you're on your own." No, because, hey, I had all the help I could get on my first one. And you see that first check and like, wow, this is exciting. You know, this hard work that I put into this and got me to this point. Where's my next one?
Yeah.
Then that, I guess it's not that greed, I shouldn't say belly, but you have the hunger to like, if I can do this one, what if I do the next? Maybe not as much, maybe this, but again, you wanna do more and more and more.
Right.
Get the first one out of your way. And you're gonna be, wow, I can do this. It's hard, but you have a supporting cast, like you're saying, surround yourself with that positive supporting cast to help you do this. And you'll get there.
And I think if you are also tracking your numbers and your activities, and you can relate that first sale and what triggered that, it will help make those habits to keep doing those things.
Exactly.
If you see what's working, and like Chris was talking about, run your business by design, not just willy-nilly. Like if you know you make certain calls and you know you do so many open houses and you know you do all these things, you can track where your leads are coming from. You don't need to track closings, you need to track leads. So that's right. And then of course you have the support of everybody here, which creates the culture for, because we're all wanting to be successful and we cheer each other on. I mean, it's the most positive office I've ever worked in. That's hands down. Hands down.
And then the third of the three is the powerful people, the influential people, the people that you admire, the people that you look up to. Pick those well. Like if you're focused on the real estate stuff, you need to have some people that you follow online that give these great talks, that are coaches, that have this great information. Have somebody that you can look up to in the real estate world, to look towards and in mirroring, trying to influence you. So that's the other aspect of it. So you have your close friends and family, your culture that surrounds you, and then the people that you look up to and that would be your mentors, or that you look towards for guidance and direction.
And don't you think, Chris, too, making everything as fun as you can, like trying to make it fun, right? If you're doing it with a group, if you guys are cold calling or calling your SOI and do a call and you get together and you do it, we've had so much fun doing that. I mean, I remember that. I always go back to this when Chris was on his phone and he whips through his phone and finds a person and calls them. Unfortunately, they had cancer or something, remember? But it was just the point that they had cancer was not funny. But it was just the point of the way Chris did it, and it was as a group, and it was fun. We made that activity fun. We brought food, we brought drinks, we all just hung out and made a an event out of it. So making it fun, so you would do it again. Obviously, you may not do it every day, but you might do it once a month.
No, but sir, it can be just a simple conversation. You go to the bank, talking to the teller, you might even know, saying how's your day going, whatever like that. You go out there, it's like, hey, you own your house, do you, basically you rent, what do you do? Oh, which part of the house, oh, good, you know, if you know anybody. That's how you start your conversations to build up your, you know, your leads and stuff like that,
Well,
because
and that can be in a habit in and of itself, like passing out so many business cards a day, starting so many conversations with people.
it's just, once you get across that bridge, you can do it. I
That's
think
right.
that resales, just like talking to somebody at a store or at the bank.
Yeah,
So
well,
if
that's
you
how
do-
they start.
Yeah, so you get in that habit of just being open about yourself and just challenge yourself. Okay, they may say no, but again, they may know somebody and say, you know what? Sarah's a very friendly lady like that, you know, I'm gonna call her because she might know somebody like that, or whoever it may be, but say. Get in a habit of being outside the comfort zone to do that. But like you said, have fun with it, don't be, oh, I don't wanna do this, no, just have fun with it, what's the worst someone's gonna tell you? No.
Where did we learn that about putting 5 pennies in your pocket? And
Luis.
Luis was telling us you put 5 pennies in one pocket, and throughout the day, as you talk to somebody about real estate, you move the penny over so that eventually 5 pennies are in the other pocket. And that's a habit, right? And it's also symbolic of what you're doing. At the end of the day, it's like I make my list every day and I scratch out when I do things. I'm so thrilled at the end of the day when I've done everything on my list. Does it always happen? No. And sometimes I move things over to the next day. But it's that same concept of doing that.
So we only go to nickels though, the 1 penny, so.
Yeah, no more no nickels. Yeah, exactly.
That's a great way to do things, yeah.
Mhm. For sure.
And then finally, chapter 10, find and fix these bad habits.
Yeah, because we always talk about the good habits, but do we really talk about the bad ones that we're doing that we need to eliminate, right? And sometimes I think those are harder.
Well, just if somebody were to sit down and go throughout their day and sit down first and try to imagine all the bad habits and write them down. For the first part is acknowledging them, right? You have to acknowledge what it is that is bad that you're trying to stop, that you want to stop doing. And once you can identify that, you do what we were talking about earlier, which is identify it and then figure out how to replace it with something else. So to eliminate a bad habit, you can't just remove it because then there's a void that's there, right? Now you're left like uncomfortable, weird feeling. What do? You replace it with something. And if you can design this and you're the architect, if you can figure this out ahead of time, what would be the best way to replace this? What you have to first figure out what is, because every bad habit it serves a deeper purpose anyways, right? It's a deeper need. There's a reason why. So if you death scroll in bed for the first 2 hours in the morning or something like that, you have some bad habit of doing that. Why? Why are you doing that? You have to understand the deeper reason. It's to avoid facing the day, the work that's ahead. It's to try to relax. It's to keep your mind free of other things, your world or your life or whatever's got going on. It's to whatever, you figured what that is, but identify the deeper meaning. And that may be difficult to try to understand because sometimes we're like, fuck, I don't know why I do that.
Yeah.
Why do I do that? It could be difficult. But that's part of it, is you figure out what that is. And then sometimes if you can't figure it out, start replacing it in your mind with something and imagine, will that solve it? Will that give me the same feeling? And you're like, no, it won't. That doesn't do it. That wouldn't be the same. Then okay, that can help you maybe identify what that deeper meaning is. Why wouldn't that work also? Well, because it doesn't accomplish this, which is what I want. Oh, this is why. So you have to identify the deeper meaning and reason for what it is that you're doing. Then You can replace it with something positive using some of these other tactics, using some of these other methods. But if you're just going about kind of flailing through everything, obviously, if you want to create good habits and get rid of bad habits, you got to know what the bad habits are.
Right.
So you've got to identify those and look into your inward. Why do I do this? What is it? What gratification am I getting? Why is that gratification? What is it I'm avoiding? Like, just question it. Figure it out. It's a puzzle. You got to figure that part out.
I think it's harder to identify your bad habits and eliminate, because you gotta be real with yourself, right? It's easy to come up with, oh, I'm gonna call 10 people a day and I'm gonna do 5 cards a day. And that's easy to create those, but to really identify the bad habits and say, oh, I gotta get rid of this. You gotta dig deep, I think, to face it and to acknowledge it's a bad habit.
And honestly, I retired 12 years ago. And for the longest time, since I was a little kid, I used to buy maintenance. I retired 12 years ago. I've not done that since. So now I'm like clipping, and it's a silly thing I'm talking about, but subconsciously, why did I stop? Is it the atmosphere I was working in the prison system? Is why I did this and continue doing it as an adult? Or did all of a sudden, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore, the nerve out there anymore in the background. But identifying that it's a bad habit, it's like, yeah, it was a bad habit, but it's just all of a sudden, I stopped for the last 12 years, I'm not doing that again, so which is kind of weird. And like Sarah says, identifying the bad habit, because you don't want to identify, self-diagnose yourself like, well, that's a bad habit, you shouldn't be doing it. You're like, no, it's fine, it's just a natural thing that I do every day.
Yeah, we
Versus
Justify.
justify it.
Yeah, so that's,
Gunnar, do you have any bad habits?
You bite my nails.
Biting his nails, yeah, that's, and what?
when you turn 50, you'll stop.
Stress, he's got a ways to go,
Yeah.
stress.
It's just weird, it's just.
Jackie, do you have any bad habits?
Many.
No.
Let's see, so for one is when my anxieties are bad, so this is why I get my nails done. If I don't get my nails done, if I feel a bump on my face, I pick my scabs like no tomorrow. So I have like massive scars throughout because I cannot not pick out a scab.
Yeah,
And so when I have my nails done, I can't break the skin the same. So I get my nails done so that I can pick my scabs.
so you did some, and plus you like how your nails look with the nails on them.
So like even like but the minute like if the other day I felt the crease, I peeled them off in seconds. And like I took a picture, sent it to my nail gal. I was like, I broke 2 off. I need an appointment. And she's like, okay, don't do anymore. I couldn't. By the time I was finished texting her, they were all off.
Oh my god.
I'm like,
That's why I can't have nails, because if they are not perfect, as soon as they start to do something, it bugs me and I start messing with them for sure. Amy, do you have any bad habits that you think you need to break?
Getting out of my comfort.
Yeah,
It's,
that's
that's a hard one.
that's a hard one.
Getting
That's a hard
comfortable in uncomfortable spots.
you know, to get out of the comfort zone's a hard thing. I'll be honest with you, Greg's not here if he's online or not, but I started before Greg worked for Corrections and he transferred to Lena. And you notice something right away with me, he goes, you know, you don't communicate enough. You're not verbal enough.
Greg told you that?
He told me that.
Greg's so bossy.
No, but I mean, for instance, young, but anyway, after that day, I started challenging myself to be more, to get out of my comfort zone, to be more verbal, stuff like that. I asked my wife, now she's talking to everybody at the grocery store, so you can't shut up anymore, but the thing is, once you adapt to that, you get out of that comfort zone, it just comes natural to you, it really does. It is a hard thing to get out of, but just, and it's not being mean, voice over saying, just get out and communicate, which is a stranger sometimes, and once you've done it a couple of times, you get past that.
Yeah.
So, the habit thing was really interesting, not to drag on about this, but I was reading it, right to my mind, it's like, how many of you put a certain shoe on first before the other foot?
Oh yeah,
Which one do you tie first?
right.
But I'm saying,
It's always right.
I sat there thinking about that, I said, well, so I tried one time, I said, let me try to put the other shoe on. You're so awkward about it, that it was like.
Can you go put your shoe on?
You're like,
It's like right, my shoulders hurt, I mean, I'm in my left hand.
Brush your teeth and.
And I was like, it was hard, but after the, 6 weeks of being in a sling, well, you figured out to do it. It's just adjusting to something you're not comfortable with.
Yeah,
Changing that habit to something else to be positive for yourself.
So if you can't find your right shoe first, do you wait until you find your right shoe?
well,
and
Aaron,
then-
why would your shoes be
Get there.
Where did I go there?
How about this habit, Jackie? Take your shoes off and put them somewhere together. That'll create the habit that when you put your shoe on.
My habit is basically my shoes land wherever they land.
So your person just kicks them off where they land. So I said, get all.
They get left throughout the house, so like, it's like, how many shoes are in this living room today? 3 different pairs. And if I can't find one pair, I just put on a different pair.
That's probably a good habit you to work on.
For sure, then you have be in their shoe spot.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What else do we got, Chris? Anything?
What about real estate bad habits?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's talk about some real estate bad habits.
Not lead generating.
And then calling your
Not
clients
following
back.
up on the open house list.
Yeah.
Not telling your clients when you're closing escrow that, hey, by the way, we gotta switch power off. New owners take care of their power. It's always like 24 hours later, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I gotta call, okay, did you get your power turned on? I always, that's one thing.
So if you made that part of your clothing package,
Yeah.
also, if you tell your TC, hey, send out a utility list,
Yeah.
you don't have to do it, they do. That's an easy, that one you could take care of by leveraging somebody else. What else? What's my bad habit with real estate that I do that does not help? I have lots of bad habits, I can't think. I think calling back a bad habit, sometimes it's not returning calls, like right away out of the gate when they call. Because I think you can miss opportunities by not calling right away when they call you.
The ones that don't calendar.
Oh, yeah, non-calendaring is the worst habit ever. Calendaring should be the basis of real estate. I'm sorry, I'll argue with anybody who doesn't believe, who does not do it and says that's not true. It is 100% true. Not calendaring is a terrible habit.
Yeah, you did a class a long time ago, I remember from Mark Keller about calendar and doing things like that. I live on a calendar.
So do I. It makes my life easy. I've had people say, oh, I'm not gonna run my life by a calendar. Okay, then miss appointments, double book, go ahead. I know what I'm doing. I come across as the professional. It's the ones who don't calendar who don't. Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. Those are good ones. So
For today.
that's about it. Is there anybody online who wants to interject? Or add, or agree, or disagree?
Miss Cindy Gray.
I have a bad habit sometimes, which
What's
is
that, JJ?
not updating the CRM.
Yeah, that's a bad habit. That's a bad habit. So how would you break that bad habit, JJ? What would you do about that?
I think having an accountability partner or having accountability overall and
Yeah.
making sure that it's in your calendar.
Time blocking for it, right?
Yep. Just like if it was a normal job.
Bundle
Yeah,
it with something else.
yeah, bundle it with something you really like.
Bundle that task with something else. That you some other thing that you are good at that you do consistently, or something positive, just anything like that, bundle that with it.
And I think if the biggest advice that I would make about this whole atomic habits, about doing habits, I think it comes down to using your calendar, calendaring everything, and then respecting your calendar, right? Don't change things. If you leave Jen at 8 a.m. in the morning, that's a non-negotiable, and don't vary with it. Like wherever you block it in, and maybe some people do it consistently across the board, maybe others vary it, but make sure it's in there every day. But I think if you do it consistently at one time, it's going to be easier. And then like Chris said, even if you go and sit at the table, right? You may not be doing anything, but at least you're there during that time period. You're not doing anything else, right?
Well, the thing is it's just shifting your mind. So if your mindset is on something super easy and achievable, which is just sit at my desk, you can do it. And then once you sit there, what are the chances of you doing nothing?
You
It's
want,
gonna lead to something.
absolutely.
And it doesn't even matter what it leads to at first. Develop the habit of sitting down. And then after that's a habit, after you can't not go and sit down at that time because you've developed it after 2 months. Now it's like, okay, now it's not hard to get to the table. Now I'm at the table. Now what are we doing at the table?
That's right.
Then you can take it to the next level.
That's right. So next week, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna do the next, it's 3 and the 3rd and 4th laws. And so we'll wrap that up. So read, you got a lot to read in the next week. But let's wrap it up and bring your ideas, your thoughts, and maybe your goals of what you are trying to set habits for and what you're trying to eliminate.
We should put together some sort of a little worksheet or something real simple that just has like 5 bad habits that you want to eliminate in your life.
And then we can
And
can
then
email
5
it. Good
things to
habits.
replace it or whatever, or good habits or whatever. And then I think if people will write that stuff down, take the 5 minutes it's gonna take to just sit down and think about it. What's gonna improve your life? What's gonna improve your work life? What's gonna improve your personal life? Whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. Just whatever is gonna be what things can you remove from your life that are habits that are negatives for you? Net negatives. They
Yep.
take your time, they take your energy, they take your money, they take your whatever. Figure out what those are, write them down, and then pick 5 more that would seem so small, easy and attainable. And then we can help you with that big goal. You may put down a goal it's not the right thing. Your goal is to make 5 calls. Okay, we're gonna change this to sit down at the table. So we can help you structure those, set up your environment. Okay, set up the environment, make it easy to do it, tie some positive things to it. I mean, if you stack all these are all hacks. These are life hacks in this book. These are life hacks. These are ways that you can achieve it way easier than trying to do it on your own. You fail on your own. It's extremely difficult on your own. These are hacks. And if you can take these simple things, get rid of these 5 and have these 5 new ones, that's going to be life changing. We can all say that if you write down 5 bad things that you do every day and 5 good things, and you tell yourself, if I replace it, if I stop all these 5 and I do all these 5, it's going to change your life.
So let's do that next week, Chris. Let's just focus on that.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even really care about laws 3 and 4, to be honest with you. I think we've got enough content. We all kind of get the idea. We can incorporate it into it. What do you think about that?
I think that's the
So,
easiest way to
yes.
apply it to your life.
Let's
your
apply
business.
it. We all kind of get the gist of what we're doing here. Let's all write down 5 habits we want to break and 5 habits we want to start.
Maybe we can email everybody like an editable
Yes.
PDF where they can just
We'll email everybody something.
type it in.
And then let's
Everybody
just
have it.
brainstorm. Everybody have it. Everybody fill it out, and then let's just talk about it and see what we can do.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We will see you next week.
Downtown on 3. 1, 2, 3. Downtown.
So Jack,